to everyone. Trusted live coverage when it matters most is now yours to stream with the Weather Channel TV app, real-time radar, and maps that let you track all the action. Available now on these platforms. Download now to start your free 7-day trial.
Currently in our area, 69 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, overcast, low 61. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday, cloudy skies, high 77. Winds northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Saturday night, a mostly clear sky, low 60. Winds west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Weather Underground. I'm meteorologist Paul Gerber live on Cape Cod, specifically in the town of Dennis and the village of West Dennis here on the south side of the Cape, where we actually have Nantucket Sound here. And we're under a tropical storm warning. We're expecting these winds, which picked up really overnight before the sun came up this morning, to really increase. Right now, they're gusting between 30 and 40 miles per hour. We expect perhaps 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts, maybe even more tomorrow. Especially tomorrow morning, overnight tonight, as we have Hurricane Lee make its closest pass to the Cape here. But still, it might be 150 to 200 miles away, the center is, but the wind field already expanding all across parts of New England. It's kicking up surf. We still have this thing creating waves, which will be coming on shore, huge rip current risk. And as the system passes by and the rain leaves us tomorrow, we're going to have a nice day on Sunday. Right now, it's getting chilly. We're talking like mid-60s right now. I'm this close to putting a jacket on. That's how chilly it is. But Sunday, we could see mid-70s to 80, but we still have that ongoing rip current risk with the waves still crashing into New England and the beaches here in the Northeast well into the beginning of this coming week. So, Dr. Knapp, we're definitely watching a very unique system approach this part of the world, and the impacts will linger again Sunday and Monday with that wave, that rip current risk, because Lee has been churning out these waves for days and days and days now.
Yeah, and I think the worst of it will be overnight tonight into tomorrow in terms of the wind and the coastal flooding. Those are the two things I'm most worried about on the Cape and in the islands. So let's take a look at where these coastal flood warnings are in effect. It is not a storm surge warning, but it's one small notch below that for Cape Cod and Nantucket, and for Bar Harbor down East Maine. Coastal flood warning. Weather Service issues warnings when there is a life-threatening risk, and especially if you get out on the roads, that could be a big risk that you're taking. And because of the large size of the system, it's not just up here that we're getting the coastal flood risk. It's even here in North Carolina with the northerly flow and the swells reaching there. The water levels are going to be high, including on the sound side. We'll get 2, 3, maybe even 4 feet of saltwater flooding above normally dry ground. Could wash out some roads. Again, don't drive onto any water-covered road, whether it's saltwater or freshwater. The tropical storm warnings are for the coastal areas of southeastern New England, but the coastal and inland areas of central and eastern Maine, because you'll be closer to the center of the circulation. And we got to very closely watch that northwestern extent of the winds of tropical storm force. They're getting closer and closer. Nantucket's already gusting to 40, so if we're already gusting to 40, and we're not even in the tropical storm force window right now, what that means is we don't have sustained winds of tropical storm force. So when those sustained tropical storm force winds arrive in Nantucket, we could be gusting near 50 miles an hour. And then through the night, gusting more than 60 possibly. And that's also what could happen along the coast all the way around to Maine and even in inland areas. So watch, again, the wind direction. That northerly flow is a big problem for overnight tonight for the coastal flooding. And watch how strong the winds could get in inland areas like Bangor tomorrow. So this is going to be a very big inland event. You want to stay off the roads because of fallen trees and because of rain-induced flooding. And then the coastal flooding here, 1 to 3 feet here in Cape Cod Bay and Nantucket. overnight tonight, we're going to have a northerly flow and high astronomical tide. That's when we might maximize the coastal flooding. And we'll have another high tide cycle to go through tomorrow afternoon, Mike. So a couple of periods there where we could have significant coastal flooding inside Cape Cod Bay and the north side of Nantucket.
Definitely some hours to keep an eye on for sure. Definitely, I appreciate that. A tropical storm warning in place in Nantucket as Hurricane Lee gets closer and closer to New England. This is a live view for you right now. Now we can start to feel some impacts as early as this evening. Some stronger winds are going to move in for us here, and the swells are going to push in from the south, and that north wind is going to push water into the north side of the island. But it could get very, very rough for us here for a shorter period of time. Also want to take you up into Maine because we're going to be the closest to the center of circulation as it comes just past Machias here, but a place like Bangor, Bar Harbor, Houghton, Caribou, all these places are getting some really heavy rain. Millinocket up toward say Moosehead Lake. These are all spots where periods of heavy rain will come in for you, and likely here, maybe along one, is we're going to have some of the heaviest of rain. Again, closest to the center is where we're going to have the highest winds as well, and that will include down east Maine. So just heads up on that, and that really is going to peak for you midday tomorrow. About 3 inches of rain could be anticipated here. Bangor back toward Greenville or Waterville, somewhere between 1 and 2 inches of rain is coming in for us. The winds, that's another factor for us, no doubt. Winds, generally speaking, going to be parallel to the coast or offshore. In a place like Bar Harbor, could see wind gusting up to 60 miles an hour. Stays breezy throughout the day. Winds back off for Saturday night. Much better day for you, at least by midday on Sunday. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Wanna leave works all day, so I can keep working my magic. Just wanna leave. 12 hours of uninterrupted pain relief. Aleve, what do you take it for? And for fast topical pain relief, try Aleve-X.
This is an important message for the millions of Medicare recipients covered under your state's Medicaid. Medicare and Medicaid give you some benefits, but there are Medicare Advantage plans available with even more benefits and savings. Call the number on your screen and get a free Medicare benefits review to see if you qualify. A licensed insurance agent is standing by to take your call. Just call 800-713-8117 now. Some Medicare Advantage plans may include dental, vision, and hearing coverage, $0 copays for prescription drugs, and an annual allowance to spend on groceries, rent, and utilities for those who qualify. Plus, some plans may include lots of doctors and hospitals all in-network. You don't get these benefits automatically. Call now and get a free, no-obligation benefits review. Just call 800-713-8117 now. That's